Hello, students. We are going to start chapter 9, Reproduction in Animals. In this chapter, we are going to learn the types of reproduction in human beings, viviparous and oviparous organisms, gender issue, and myths. First is types of reproduction. Before going to the types of reproduction, first we will discuss what is reproduction. Reproduction, the process by which living organisms produces young ones of their own kind, is called as reproduction. It is the process by which living organisms produces their offsprings or young ones similar to as the parents. This is called as reproduction. Reproduction is not necessary for the survival of the individual. That is, an organisms can still live without reproducing, but if there is no reproduction, it may lead to the extinction of the species. It means that without reproduction, an organisms can live, but if there is no reproduction, then the species can be extincted. Types of reproduction. There are two types of reproduction: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? The simplest form of reproduction in which a new offspring is forms the cells of a single organism, formed from the cells of a single organism like amoeba, paramecium, hydra, and yeast. It means that in asexual reproduction, only a single parent is involved. So, from one single parents, their daughter cells are produced. So, that kind of reproduction is called as asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction that is binary fission. We have different types of asexual reproduction, but we will discuss only binary fission and budding. What is binary fission? Binary fission is seen in the organisms like amoeba and paramecium. In this method, the nucleus divides and then the parent cell divides into two daughter cells of equal sizes. The daughter cells are identical to the parent cells, and two daughter cells of amoeba undergoes binary fission to form two daughter cells of each. See the figure, this is the parent, and as they undergoes asexual reproduction. So the first step in that is elongation of the nucleus. This is nucleus. First the nucleus will divide. So first nucleus will divide. After the division of the nucleus, and then the division of the cytoplasm takes place. See the division of cytoplasm. After this, after the cytoplasm has been divided, then the cell membrane. See, two daughter cells are produced. They are alike of their parent. So in this way, the binary fission takes place in amoeba. Next, budding. Budding is also a asexual reproduction. It is seen in the organisms like hydra. In this process, a multicellular bulb-like structures develop from the body of the hydra and project outwards. The projection is called as bud. These bud grow and develop, and once they mature, they separate from the parent's body to live an independent life. See the diagram of the budding. See, this is the parent hydra. This is the first step. In the second step, the development of the bud takes place from the parent's body. Third step, as the new bud is completely developed. See the third, the bud was developed, it started developing, and the new bud is completely developed. As the new bud is completely developed in the third diagram, it has been detached from the parent. So this is the offspring produced by the parent. It is alike, it is the same as it is the parent. So in this way, the budding in the hydra, the reproduction in hydra by budding takes place. This is the reproduction of hydra in budding. Next, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is the reproduction in which two parents are involved. Most of the plants and animals, including the human being, reproduce sexually. Male and female gametes are required for sexual reproduction. I have told you that in sexual reproduction, two parents are required. Okay, so that if two parents are required, that is male and female gametes are required for the sexual reproduction. In this chapter, we are going to study about the reproduction in the human beings. In human beings, male and females have different reproductive organs. These organs are called as gondas, produced by the special reproductive gametes. They are produced gondas, they are produced by the special reproductive gametes. The male gamete is called as the sperm. Okay, sperm is the male gamete, and the sperm cell is a thin elongated structures with a head, middle piece and a tail, whereas the female gamete is called as ovum, that is an egg. An egg cell is a round structure with a thick layer of cells on the outside and abundant with the cytoplasm. See, this is sperm and this is egg, that is ovum. The sperm has an head and a tail. Okay, it is thin and elongated. See how long it is, with the head, middle piece and a tail. These cells are motile in nature, that is, and they swim. That is, motile means they can move and they swim their way to the female gamete. They move towards, by swimming, they move towards the female gamete, that is an egg. Okay, sperm cells are produced millions in the testes. So these produce millions sperm cells are produced in the testes. And this is the female gamete called the ovum. It is also called as an egg cell. It is round. Ovum is round structure with the thick layer of cells on outside and abundant cytoplasm. It contains cytoplasm. It is immobile, means they cannot move or swim like the sperms. And they are very large as compared to the sperm cells. They are very large as compared to the sperm cells. So these are the male and female gametes. Next, male and female human reproductive organs. So these are the female, this is female reproductive organ and this is male reproductive organ. This is called as penis. This penis transfers the sperm into the female vagina or vagina. Okay, this is penis and it transfers the sperms into female vagina, this part. Okay, next, these are testes. These are testes. These are two oval shaped structures that lie in the sac-like structure outside the body called scrotum. Each testes contains sperm producing tubes in which millions of sperms are produced. They mature. The mature sperms are stored in the testes. So the sperms are stored in this testes. Next, vas deferens. So this is vas deferens. See the vas deferens here. This is vas deferens. Each testis has the sperm. Vas deferens is here. This is vas deferens. Each testis has a sperm duct, that is nothing but it's a tube like structure in which the sperm has to travel and are pushed along the duct. Duct is nothing but tube, and the special glands releases a thick white fluid called semen. So they releases the semen which produce a medium for the sperm to move. So these sperms require a medium so that they can swim. So this vas deferens produces a medium in which the sperms can move. This is about the male reproductive part and female reproductive part. Female reproductive part, this is vagina. It is a thin muscular wall tube that starts from the mouth of the uterus and opens outside. It opens outside. Okay. Next, this is uterus. This part is called as uterus. It is a pear-shaped hollow organ with a thick muscular wall. The embryo develops in this. The embryo develops inside the uterus until it is ready to born. It is the house and protects the developing embryo in the later stage of the fetus. Okay, in this the embryo develops. These are ovaries. These are two almond-shaped structures present on the either side of the uterus. Several immature eggs are present within the ovary, which after puberty matures and releases one egg at one time as a ovum. Okay, so these eggs are present, immature eggs are present. After they mature, these eggs get mature and they releases one egg, and this is fallopian tube. These they are of two present on the either side of the uterus, which carries the ovum, which carries the egg. Okay, eggs move from the fallopian tube. Okay, released by the ovary. The tiny hair-like structure called cilia is present in the tubes that helps the movement of the ova, that is egg, inside the fallopian tube. So inside the fallopian tube, the hair-like structures are present, which is called as cilia, and this helps in the movement of the egg. This helps in the movement of the egg. This is about the human reproductive part. Next, fertilization. What is fertilization? The process of fusion of two gametes, that is the sperm and the ovum, is called as fertilization. That is the fusion of two gametes, that is male and female gametes, are called as fertilization. When the sperm fuses with egg, they form zygote. The ovum is released from the ovary only once in a month in the female body by the process called as ovulation. So when egg is released, only one egg is released per month. This process is called as ovulation. When the egg fuses with sperm, they form zygote. The zygote grows and divides repeatedly and develops into an embryo. If the ovum does not fuses with the sperm, it is expelled out from the uterus along with some tissues and blood, which is known as menstruation. So this is about the fertilization. We have two types of fertilization: internal fertilization and external fertilization. The fertilization that takes place inside the body of female is called as internal fertilization, and the fertilization that takes place outside the body is called as external fertilization. Next, viviparous and oviparous organisms. Viviparous animals, that is most of the mammals like deer, elephant, horse, and even the human beings give the birth to fully formed baby. Such animals are called as viviparous animals. Oviparous animals, other animals like birds, snakes, frog, they lay the egg and hatch later. Such animals are called as oviparous animals. Next, metamorphosis. The process of transformation of larva into the adult. So what is metamorphosis? It is a process of transformation of the larva into the adult through a series of changes is called as metamorphosis. So these the following are the stages involved in the metamorphosis of the butterfly, that is egg, larva, pupa, and adult. First, egg will change into larva, larva will change into pupa, pupa will change into adult. So this is the process of metamorphosis of the butterfly. Next, gender issue and myths. Some common gender issues and myths that exist, especially in the developing countries, are: in certain parts of the India, women are still considered as burden to the family. Selective abortions, female feticide, that is killing of the female fetus, female infanticides, that is killing of the female infant, is still practiced. Mothers are responsible for delivering a female child and are harassed for the same reason, but actually, the fathers are responsible for the male or female child. Further, the female's child is deprived of the nutrition diet. That is, the female child is not given a nutritious diet, good education, even the recreation. Even though the government has banned the practice like the sex determination in the hospitals, but the issues still persist. The problems facing for the adolescent pregnancy, some girl childs become pregnant early. So what are the problems facing by them? Many girls who becomes pregnant, they have to leave the school. This has a long term implications on them as the individual and even on their families and communities. Teenage mothers are at the greater risk of having the medical complications and health problems during the pregnancy and the childbirth, including the anemia, malaria, HIV, and other sexually transmitted diseases, and the mental disorder such as depression can be happened to that teenage mother. So these are the some problems facing by the adolescent pregnancy. So till here your chapter has been completed. Thank you.